You think you understand what it means to be safe. You sit in your climate-controlled room, staring at a pocket-sized supercomputer that can summon food to your door with a single tap. You can lock your heavy front door, retreat into a private, white-tiled bathroom, turn a polished metal handle, and watch pristine water instantly carry your waste into an invisible underground world. You sleep on a thick mattress, protected by police forces, smoke detectors, and legal systems. You are insulated. You are untouchable. Now, delete it. Strip away the drywall and the locks. Tear down the privacy. Evaporate the plumbing, the electricity, the antibiotics, and the police force. Take back the clean water, the trash collection, and the shoes on your feet. Keep going. Strip away the concept of a house entirely until you are standing under a vast, unyielding sky, wrapped in a stiff, greasy piece of animal hide that scratches against your raw collarbone. You are a regular human being living 30,000 years ago. Your world is not a romantic wilderness from a nature documentary. It is a psychological and physical meat grinder. Every single morning you wake up, you are entered into a high-stakes lottery where the grand prize is simply seeing the sun go down. When you look back at history, you think our ancestors feared the spectacular. You think they lived in terror of the woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed cat, or the massive, crashing thunderstorms that lit up the ancient sky. You are wrong. The things that kept an ancient human awake at night, shivering under a communal deer-hide blanket, were much smaller, much filthier, and much harder to kill. The sun hasn't risen yet. The air inside the cave mouth is thick, stagnant, and suffocating. It smells of old sweat, wet dog, cold ash, and the faint, sour tang of human waste. You don't sleep alone. You can't. You are packed tightly against 7 other people. An uncle's elbow is dug into your ribs. A cousin's heavy breath blows directly onto your neck. If you move to find comfort, you wake the entire band. In the Paleolithic, privacy is a luxury that hasn't been invented yet. To want to be alone is seen as a mental illness. To be alone is to be dead. Your muscles ache before you even stand up. The ground is hard limestone covered by a thin layer of dried bracken. Your joints are stiff from a lifetime of carrying 60-pound loads of firewood over broken granite ridges. You roll over, your skin sticking to the grease on the hide beneath you, and you face your first real choice of the day. The bathroom. There are no stalls. There is no toilet paper. You walk 20 paces away from the sleeping area, just past the windbreak of piled stones. You squat in the freezing morning dew. You use a smooth stone, a handful of dry moss, or your own left hand to clean yourself. Everyone can see you. No one cares. But you are not thinking about modesty. You are scanning the tree line. You are completely exposed. Your pants are around your ankles. If a cave hyena hits your scent trail right now, you cannot run. This is the moment of maximum vulnerability. Every time you relieve yourself, your heart rate spikes. You learn to do it fast. You learn to do it quietly. When you return to the fire, the hunger hits. It isn't the sharp, temporary hunger of missing lunch. It is a dull, gnawing emptiness that has lived in your lower abdomen for 3 months. You do not have a pantry. You have what was gathered yesterday. A handful of bitter, starchy roots that have been roasted until they are chewy like rubber. A piece of dried, leathery venison that you have to gnaw on for 20 minutes just to swallow. As you chew, you feel a sharp, lightning bolt of agony shoot up into your jaw. You have a cracked molar. A piece of hard nutshell found its way into your food last week. There are no dentists. There is no ibuprofen. The nerve is completely exposed. The left side of your face is swollen, hot to the touch, and throbbing in time with your pulse. You know what this means. You watched your older sister develop the same swelling 2 winters ago. Within a month, the spirit of the rot entered her blood. Her skin turned yellow. Her breath smelled like a dead animal. Then, her heart stopped. A simple toothache is a death sentence. A broken ankle is an execution order. A deep scrape from a jagged piece of flint is a coin flip with the Grim Reaper. We think we are entirely different from these people. We look at their primitive tools, and we think their minds were primitive too. But their brains were identical to yours. They had the exact same capacity for anxiety, for social dread, and for the fear of public humiliation. In fact, their social anxieties were dialed up to a level that would break a modern mind. Think about your modern workplace. If you get into an argument with a coworker, if you say something embarrassing in a meeting, or if you get fired, it ruins your week. You feel awkward. You find a new job. For the ancient human, social awkwardness is a survival emergency. You live in a band of 30 people. These 30 people are your grocery store, your hospital, your army, and your family. If you anger the tribal elders, if you lazy your way out of the daily hunt, or if you hoard a piece of fatty meat for yourself, you aren't just a bad coworker. You are a threat to the machine. The tribe uses the exact same psychological weapons we use today in high school cafeterias or online forums. Gossip, shunning, ostracization. If the band stops talking to you, if they look through you as if you are a ghost, your throat tightens. Your sweat turns cold. That is the ancestral mirror of your modern social anxiety. When your heart races today because someone left you on read, that is your 30,000-year-old brain remembering that being ignored by the group means you are about to be left behind in the snow. To survive this social gauntlet, humans relied on a single, mundane habit that changed the course of our evolution. Storytelling around the fire. The fire wasn't just for warmth. It was the first mass media. When the sun went down and the predators moved into the shadows, the tribe gathered close. The elders spoke. They didn't just tell myths. They gave survival data wrapped in narrative. They told stories about the man who ate the speckled mushroom and died screaming. They sang songs about the river crossing that looks shallow but hides deep, sucking mud. They used narrative to pass down a map of a terrifying world. The humans who listened, the ones who felt the deep, biological urge to sit quietly and absorb stories, were the ones who survived. You love stories today because your ancestors used them as armor against an environment that wanted to eat them. Gradually, the smoke from that ancient fire begins to thin. The cracked limestone of the cave walls dissolves. The smell of wet earth and ancient sweat fades away, replaced once again by the clean, synthetic scents of your modern home. The hum of the prehistoric wilderness snaps back into the quiet purr of your refrigerator. We have won the war. We beat the predators. We conquered the bacteria. We built a world where a cracked tooth is an annoyance settled with insurance, and where the bathroom is a private sanctuary of porcelain and chrome. But nature never gives you anything without demanding a payment. We traded the terrifying, crowded chaos of the ancient tribe for absolute safety and total privacy. We built thick walls of concrete, installed deadbolts, and wrapped ourselves in a world where we never have to look at our neighbors, never have to share our food, and never have to rely on anyone else just to see tomorrow. We escaped the crowd. We escaped the dirt. We escaped the constant, high-stakes fear of nature. And we built a world where we have never been more safe and never been more alone.